clear with his directions, and he will stop you and tell you. If he gave you something to do, he will stop you and tell you when you are not doing it. You are going opposite. I told you to do that. I told you to go to Nineveh, and you went to Tarshish. Joppa. Somehow, they're on a boat. Oh yeah, we're getting on a cruise. He told him to go to, I don't even remember telling him to get on a boat. I don't remember that water was in the picture. It could have been, I don't know. I'm not a resident of Joppa. I don't know. But I do know, that the God that we serve will not give us a direction with not adequate instructions. Adequate. Because everything that happens from this point forward is based on the decision that Jonah makes here. Selah. Spew. Love it. That's a perfect spewing sound, right? Here's the thing. It doesn't matter when anybody else calls you or what they do to you. God, about me being God's blessing and his affirmation, I become God's spew. I have become God's spew. But going opposite. Take a moment. Think about it. Jonah's on a boat. Oh yeah, we are having a boat party. Yeah. They're on a yacht. No, they're not. But they could have been. Lil Yachty could have been on there with them. No? Okay. Could have been his boat. No. Alright. They was on a boat. And so, being on a boat, you do some boat things. It's got nautical. It's getting nautical when it's supposed to be landical, right? At the pool, we talk about that. I went to the thing and I said, okay, I need the schedule. They said, for what? I said, I need the on deck schedule. I need the schedule for on deck. They said, okay, yeah. I didn't know what's going on deck. Because in the water and on land are two totally different things. And if Sandra says kayak, right? There's a move, kayak. There's a whole bunch of moves, and she shouts them out as we do them. Everything, I've been here for 5 years, so everything is nautical. So they shout out the moves as we're doing it. And even if you don't, you watch her because she does the moves in front of you. But even if you do not, if you're blind, you hear her saying a move, you can still do it as part of the workout because everything is nautical and you speak the language. It becomes common folk. We are common. We're on common ground. We do common things because we have become nautical. I have an issue. Because I say Abraham was a man of faith, but Abraham had a nephew named Lot, right? A nephew named Lot. And so Lot held up Abraham's blessing because Lot wanted to do everything that Abraham did, go everywhere with Abraham, and Abraham consented. I believe Abraham took Lot with him because he felt responsible for Lot. He took accountability for someone that God wanted to get under his belt, and God did not get a hand on Lot until way after. Way after what? We don't know. But we know that Abraham was, Lot was looking for another father because Lot's father died. When Abraham left he took Lot with him. But the Bible clearly says, get away from your family and from your father's house. Your father's house means your father's house and everybody inside of it. And since Abraham's brother had died, it was 3 boys. Since Abraham's brother had died, I believe Lot's living in the father's house. And even if he wasn't living in the father's house, he's a part of what we would consider the father's house. And as a result of that, you should not have taken, if God said get away from the father's house, why are you taking the father's house with you? But I got another issue with Lot. Let's just explain the whole thing I set up with Lot. I got a whole issue with Lot because Lot is a lot of trouble. Lot is a whole lot of trouble. Why? Because when Lot came into the picture, Lot caused Abraham's inheritance to be split a couple of ways, and he things that should have been singular became plural. Things that should have been barren gave kids. Sometimes you are supposed to be barren. I don't care what nobody say. Lot's daughters were not supposed to have kids, but they did. We know how it happens. Incest is best. Put your father to the test, right? Depends on the day, right? Incest is best. Put your father to the test. And they did. They got him drunk and they made sons. And so Ammon and Moab are incestuous nations. And Jesus is a descendant of Ruth, which is a descendant of the incestuous nation Moab. So we can't say that God won't work it for the better, because he will, because that's Romans 8:28. But what I can say is Lot. It's a whole lot of trouble. Because these daughters did this to Lot after Lot had married their mother after going to Sodom and Gomorrah. He obviously found their mother in Sodom and Gomorrah and married her and made the two daughters with her. And these are the same two daughters that had sons with him and caused this whole, I'm not even going to go into it, but it's an issue. Nobody wants to deal with the Moabites. What the Moab do? Moab bites. Moab bites. They do. Ammonites, right? They do. But I always have the picture in my mind of, because of the inconsistency of lots. Is that where they get the game lots from? Of lots, casting lots? We know that Job took place at the same time that Abraham did. But Jonah, I'm not sure. Jonah was a minor prophet, and though it sounds a little like Job, it's not the same book. And so I believe that Jonah may have taken place, right? Because Tarshish and Joppa were funded cities, but Jonah probably took place after Genesis, after Abraham's story, right? My question is, was it, because you always hear the statement, it's accounted to him as righteousness, or accounted to him for righteousness. But the Bible says Job was a righteous man. I always said if Abraham was really God's friend, why did Job get his name? Or they were created at the same time, right? The story happened at the same time. Why did Job get his name on a book, but Abraham did not? Abraham was just a part of Genesis. Could it be that Abraham was from that thing that he did when you get away from your family and from your father's countrymen, right? Your father's household, right? Get away from them. Or could it be that one thing, taking when God said leave behind, taking it with you, could that one thing have caused him not to be righteous, but to have an account for it, so he could put money in it? I need to put money in my account because I am deficient in it. I am bankrupt in it. I don't have no righteousness for it. And Job, though, was a righteous man, he did not do it. When God told him to do something, he did it. He questioned God, but he did not disobey him outrightly. And then Abraham forgot to meet God at the tree. So again, we got these lots, and we got another tree. They were sitting up underneath the tree, leaning on the tree and eating. Jesus said, I will be back this time next year, and Sarah will have a child. Somehow, Abraham forgot his meeting. He didn't put God in for that time slot. What he heard was, when Jesus said, I will be back from this time next year, I will be back. This time next year, Abraham didn't hear that. What Abraham heard was, Sarah won't have a child. What makes me righteous? Complete and total obedience. Whether I'm spew or tree or withered leaf, I must be obedient. I must follow the call that I'm given and do it properly. My only inference is all of the trouble that Abraham went through as a result of what happened to him stemmed from I would say there was a stemming and a birthing in Lot. Why? Because it would have been no Sarah and Hagar situation if it wasn't for what? That God wanted to bring a promised child, and that's what God promised. He said the sands of the shore, right, or the clouds in the sky, or whatever he said about that. You know, like the fruitfulness, right? He's going to make Abraham just as fruitful. But Abraham ended up waiting 25 years. Because God can say, I'm going to bless your house, but if you bring an idol into it, that will tear down that blessing and cause you to wait. It won't get rid of the blessing. Your kids may receive the blessing, but it will cause you to have to wait millenniums for it. Some of us are walking around in blessing. We have blessings surrounded us. God counts us righteous, but we can't take hold of it. So people that will live in your house later on, you don't have kids, people, random people that will live in the room that you're in later on will take hold of it because you did not listen. Isn't it fun? I said, no, that makes sense for being the reason why Abraham might have needed an account. Because Job was righteous, Abraham needed an account. Okay? That might have made sense. God, I thank you right now in the name of Jesus. We draw forward. I thank you for what you're doing. in the lives of your people. I thank you, God. Oh, for the end of a faith. Hallelujah, God. Oh God, they say March comes in like a lion and out like a lamb. It's March 31st, and I don't know what lamb and lion they're talking about. I know for me that's the Lion of Judah and the Lamb, the Son of God. But if he leaves like a lion, that lamb and lion are exploiting me right out of this day house. I thank you, God. Oh, for it. When the sun sets free, I'm not flying out of here like no pigeon. I'm not flying out here like no chicky, right? Those birds that kind of hang out on the ground and pin peck at each other and gossip about things. I'm not flying out of here like no down ground feeder, no bottom feeder. I'm flying out of here. Oh, I'm soaring out of here like an eagle. Hallelujah to God. I said, okay, so I told my landlord yesterday with Pastor Tim, I said, okay, so about the Wi-Fi, because I'm going to need that. I hate to say it, I don't want to sound princessy. I said, well, my blog is very important to me. I need to keep lifting up the name of Jesus every day. That's my practice now. I said, so that's the one thing I need. Whew, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to ask her. That's the one thing I'm going to need immediately. She said, we're going to set it up. She said, Jamie, I can do the Wi-Fi right now. I'm not moving in until today. I had Wi-Fi there yesterday. I said, and about the cable. She said, I need TV and watching my art. She said, Jenny, I already know we talked about that. She said, you're paying too much down here. She said, the electric here, $15. Wi-Fi here, you give me $15. You got complete Wi-Fi and cable. Leave that $130 system. Leave that $100 Wi-Fi system. You was paying, I'll say the question now because she saved me on my electric and my gas. We haven't even talked about that. We're going to leave just the three of those things. She's already saved me $260 moving into her place. And I thank you. We talked about the little list that they gave her from Section 8 to what they put on the front of this. They said mode of operation needed taken to immediately by landlord. Tenant cannot do anything. By landlord mode. Severity. They said because the banister was creaky. They gave her a list of little things. She says a bunch of little things. She got discouraged at first. God let me know about her spirit immediately. I started praying for her. I told her. I said, I started praying for you. That's why I didn't say anything to you. I got the letter. I saw the list. I started praying immediately. I didn't talk to them, and I didn't talk to you. I'm not going to you, and you. If you see me being quiet, no. If I care about you, and you ain't acting crazy, then I'm praying for you. If you're acting crazy, then I'm going to have to leave you alone. But if I want to save this thing, if I know that this thing is of God and he's doing something, I'm going to go to the man that can handle anything, that nothing is impossible for him. He told me that any mountain I speak to will be removed and cast into the sea. I have to rub it up and down and let it. This thing is a miracle. I'm saving money to move it to a better place. I don't know. I looked out the window and said, I cannot forget to take that lock off the gate. It's a very great lock that Pastor Tim gave me for the gate. Remember this issue about the gate? Give me access to your gates. She can have the gate now. I'm taking the lock off now. And when I remove the gate, I promise you, she will have no desire to be in this backyard. When I move the lock, she will see that there's nobody here to try to bully into being like her. I don't look like you, talk like you, want to be acting like you. God revealed it to me. He said, well, yeah, you can take the lock off the gate, Jamie. If you want, I went up to the door. The three of us walked to the door, and both Pastor Tim and her stood back. I said, what are they doing? I usually like to walk it back at people. I got a big mouth, but I'm quiet in spirit. I like to walk it back at people. I like to observe. They said, what are they doing? She said, you live here now. You open up the door. There's a combination lock. See, there was a lock on the gate before. God, we got to finish praying. There's a lock on the gate. There's a lock on the gate here. When I say before, my mind's already soaring. My mind's already out of here. So I talk about before. I'm talking about what is now. That I'm walking in right now, but I'm moving by tonight. I will be in another place. I was already in another place spiritually and mentally. Once they sent me the papers, I ejected in myself. This place ejected me, and as a result, I rejected it and everything surrounding it. So I was already mentally in another place. I got the keys there. Then she stepped back again. We got upstairs. She said, okay, I shall go. There's a lock on the gate here. But what good is a lock on something if you could see what's behind it? That's why she could walk to me and say, take that lock off your gate and say, we see we want access to it, and we see that the only thing blocking us from having access is the lock that you keep on the gate. It said Samson, not Samuel, went up in the Philistine camp. He should have been there anyway. That's why I know when it's time to leave. When I gotta carry the gates out with me, then it's time to leave. You in a spot in the enemy's camp, right? And when it's time for you to leave and you don't leave, the enemy has a tendency to take their locks, their old fake locks, and lock you inside of theirs. They want to lock you into the place where they want you to be. The enemy wanted me to be stuck in anxiety and insecurity. And so what he did was he gave the landlord from Section 8 a list of things that she had accomplished or I could not be in there. The normal person will look at that and say, oh, that's because they value me. I'm so classical in this season. They value, you love me, you finally love me. No, they don't. God told me as I was walking back and forth here a couple minutes ago, he said they wanted to keep you out of there. And how they wanted to do it because they could tell that she loves you. How they wanted to do it, I'm going to tell you what she told me and Pastor Tim yesterday. Before she said, okay, this is the situation, let's get together and pray. Before she says, let's form a circle and pray. God, I'm telling you, it's a situation. If you look at it, even the landlord does not understand it yet. If you look at it, you know God is going to use it to move. I don't like being alone. And when she's alone in a situation, it's not that I like being alone. It's like if I'm alone and I'm working and I'm doing my art and I'm doing my poetry, I don't want no drama around me. I will quickly eject your spirit from being around me if you cause me drama, and it's drama that I did not ask for. There's drama pouring out of you because you are insecurity and you have a hole inside of you and you refuse to match the man that conquers and believes out and believes in you to plug up the hole. I've already got my hole plugged, so I'm okay being alone without falling into loneliness. That's the difference between alone and loneliness. The nest comes along. The state of it is the nest. The nest comes along when you decide that you don't want to get rid of it. You decided when you were told this is what God wants to do, and you refused it. Instead of listening to the 2 scouts, you went and listened to the 10 spies. Hallelujah to God. Now your brain will got french fries. Split up in pieces because you keep giving people pieces of your mind, and they won't give it back. You gave it, they took it and ate it. I warned you, and now they treat your brain like it's chicken fat. They walk all over your brain now. Your mind looks like french fries to you because you've given a piece of everybody your mind, but now they've taken off pieces. What piece did they leave behind for you? And so your mind, instead of looking like what it really looks like, instead of being french fries, now it's mashed potatoes. Yeah. That's what every time somebody scoops mashed potatoes and throws it, you have to throw certain things on a plate once you reach that consistency. Certain things look like mashed potatoes but will fall off the spoon easily. Mashed potatoes won't do that. If you pick up a spoonful of mashed potatoes and they're cooked properly, you have to take mashed potatoes and fling it into the plate. You cannot get rid of it. It will not let go of it. This is going to be a problem for you because you did not listen. And now the mashed potatoes that they turned your mind into are going to stick to the spoon until you come to God and say, I need this thing taken care of. And you have to come face boldly to the throne, and not breastly but boldly. You have to come the right way and ask for it. Otherwise you're going to be stuck like that for the rest of your life. Still people pleaser. I think this is the right church for me, but it's got all Caucasian people in it. I don't want people to know that I got a church with Caucasian people in it. On occasion, I would rather look like a Caucasian person than look like what your spirit looks like to me. You are mashed potatoes and you think you're french fries, but you're not. You have given everyone around you a piece of your mind. God keeps going to that. I see a plate of french fries and I see a plate of mashed potatoes, and neither are good. All are full of carbs and none of them serve you much purpose. It's just a run right through your system, and the fat clings to your body. I get to cling it, but I don't get to bring it. I don't know. My ministry is stuck because you stuck on stupid. I don't know. What did you do? You went and you clung to the wrong ear. You listened to the spies instead of the scouts. And I hear God saying, 12 scouts were sent in, but 10 spies. 2 scouts came out. You know the evidence of a scout? I told Miss Melanie this because God gave me this a couple of weeks ago. You know the evidence of a scout? Is when you go into the system and you come out looking different. God wasn't going to let her change her mind. She was on the fence. She was discouraged. She was on the fence a little bit. She wasn't on the fence about me because she kept saying, I want you here. When I get rid of somebody, the last thing I want is for somebody else to want them. She kept saying, I want you here, I want you here. From the moment she saw my name typed out on the screen, she said, God told me this, and I want you here. She said, now I got Eugene upstairs, I got Jake downstairs, and I want you here. She said, said, I want you here. I want you here. She said, I got one apartment to fill. Last apartment to fill with somebody godly. But I want you here. I want you here. She don't know how. I said, 2 men. One upstairs, one downstairs. I said, I'm ready. I said, I'm ready for the fire. Get me there while it's hot. She said, the beautiful thing about these 2 gentlemen is that they won't have time for me. So I know if God sends them my way, if God sends them to me, they were on a mission and they were sent to me. They need to make a decision. She didn't tell me anything about their belief. But the one thing Casey showed me yesterday, we walked up to the car yesterday, I walked up to her, she said that list. I said, I saw it. I said, I was in Pastor Tim's talking to him about that list before we got to her. That list troubled my spirit. It didn't trouble my spirit because I didn't think she could do it. It didn't trouble my spirit because I thought that the things were too big. And it troubled my spirit because of that. Well, God revealed to me right there. So I'm glad you had your sister to talk to, because what happened was she saw the list. She saw what I saw, got into her sister's car, and was so frustrated. I felt her. If you want a mission and you're supposed to reach certain people, God will connect your spirits. You won't have to. I felt her spirit. I started praying. Some of you go to the wrong people. You have to pick up the phone and call Muhammad. Oh, Muhammad. 1-800-I-AM-STUPID. That's Muhammad, right? That's his phone number. Hey, Muhammad, can you help me with this thing? You don't realize you are dialing 1-800-I-AM-STUPID. 1-800-DIAL or I'm not a queen. 1-800-DIAL or I refuse to call myself a king. 1-800-DIAL I refuse to walk by faith. 1-800-DIAL I only walk by sight. 1-800 I will not pick up my mat and walk. 1-800 all I do is henpeck and talk. 1-800 I want to continue to live on Jonathan Street. I stopped living on Jonathan Street a month ago and moved away. I've been existing here. 1-800 I listen to what my neighbors think about me and I care. 1-800 stop talking to stupid people. Put the phone down. You pick up the physical phone to call a natural man about what only a spiritual God can do. 1-800 you a fool, and tonight your soul, if you don't stop, will be required of you. 1-800 drop the receiver. 1-800 God now. That's I said the reason why you come here. I said the reason why you are dealing with what you're dealing with. This is something totally different that you guys know nothing about. I just pulled it out the air. God told me to tell. He said the reason why you are dealing with what you're dealing with now is not because that God hates you. It's because He loves you. He said that He is wooing you and He is calling you. And what you feel now feels like depression. It feels like loneliness. It's not. You got the God of every nation surrounding you. He is pulling on you. He wants to love you. And the reason why you feel upset is not loneliness. It's not depression. It's the poor. So pick up that ret. Pick up that ret. I'm called ret. Pick up that ret. R-E-T-T-E. Pick up that ret. That would be a short version of cigarette, right? But not for me today. Pick up that ret and take a drag from it. Get you a pull from it. You feel the pull of the Holy Spirit. You do. 1-800 I'm still a queen. 1-800 say it with me. I'm still a king. 1-800 because that's the beginning. That's the beginning of you walking above your station. 1-800 Satan, you can't come in here. 1-800 I've got the victory. That inspector went up there and they told me to call the inspector, have him come here. What they wanted me to do was to walk in anxiety. They put her in anxiety. And she walked into it because the spirit's not strong enough. They sent me a letter saying, if you want to know if your place is clean enough, there's so many people clean their places, but they don't clean it properly. And when you want your security back, and we like to give it to you, but we want you to call first, call us, and have our inspector come. I said, so Pastor Tim, so Pastor Tim, so I could call their inspector. An inspector, I'm inspector, I'm eager to come. I work with stupid housing authority, I'm eager to come. So there's what we call their inspectors. So the inspectors can come up here and check and see if my doorknobs and everything is spot free. You are spot free when you look at it, but you are whitewashed fences, spot free on the outside, but dirty in the lenses. So you want me to call your inspector to ask